Paul Nicholls. We have the champion trainer on the line now, the trainer of Kauto Star. Welcome to the programme, Paul. Thanks for coming on. First of all, I need to ask you the question, how come you decided to retire him?
Well, Clive and I and Clifford and the whole team were talking about it for a little while. Clive was always going to come down at breakfast this morning, and we're going to make it a bit of a decision. Obviously, the entries for the King George come out next week. We just wanted he'd come in and been cantering around and about and sort of doing a few things, but we all knew really where we were, and it was a unanimous decision. Really, everyone has the best interest of the horse in our mind, and it was the only decision and the right decision.
A chance then to reflect on his illustrious career. I don't think that as many superlatives as I throw at it is going to do it justice, but I don't need to list them all. What did certain ones mean to you, Paul? What were the real highlights for you?
I mean, the whole thing's been a highlight, having him, really. It's been a privilege to train him. Everybody's been involved with him. We'll never forget the memories we've had with him. But I'd have to say the 2 days that stand out to me, obviously, the Gold Cups were brilliant. But when he won at Haydock last year and when he won at Kempton, they were just the most amazing days. Will never, ever happen again.
What was he like as a horse from day to day at home, as a horse to train?
He's fairly straightforward, but I mean, we all sort of met our targets with him. They were aimed at. He had a few issues in the early days. He had a couple of falls and a few injuries, and I don't know. Last year we changed a few things around that made him work, but he was all class. Had a few jumping issues, as you know early on, which we tried to iron out. But as I said earlier, it's a privilege to train. When did you know he was special? Casting your mind back to the early days. I seem to remember. He always showed plenty of class, and before he ran at Newbury the first time in that novice chase, I said to Ruby, you make sure at Newbury you got a real special 4-year-old to ride. It could be okay, but I think when he won that first Betfair chase was probably, pointing us in the right direction. And some of the battles he's had, mostly I always think probably because he's a stable companion, former stable companion with Denman. I mean, those are the memories that I will hold dear. How about you? Yeah, amazing horses, the pair of them. They did everything together. I can't say how lucky I've been and what a privilege it is to have the pair of them. And it's just been one fantastic, journey. Paul, you must be very proud because you've said a horse in a lifetime, but it's more than that. It's across generations, really, because he is simply one of the best of all time, and it must make you feel very proud to hear that. Yeah, it's been, one of the horses in my lifetime. Obviously, I never saw Arkle. That was a different generation, but, I'm sure his record speaks for itself. But in the modern era, he's probably been the best chaser there has been, and I can't say enough about him. We've always been proud of everything he achieved. I just keep reiterating how lucky I have to have had him, On the sentimental side, I mean, I know he amassed, because of his achievements on track, a lot of public attention, became very, very popular indeed. Did that add a certain amount of pressure towards how you trained him and campaigned him? Because, indeed, you have to look after the horse, which I know you would have done anyway. Exactly. Of course, there's lots of pressure. And now, these days, with all the social media, with Facebook and Twitter, there's so many different opinions banded around all the time that, it makes life even harder. But we're always going to try and do the right thing for the horse. I mean, Clive obviously always had the best interest at heart. He was privileged and proud to own him. It's been very special for him, as for the whole team here. And that horse as good as that, it obviously has a great following, and I think everybody who's followed him will be delighted with the decision we've made today. It will leave quite a hole in the yard, won't it? That empty box. Well, it will, but he's not going anywhere for a minute. He'll be still cantering along, the next 2 or 3 months till we make a plan. And I'm sure Haydock and Kempton are probably quite pleased to see him parade before their 2 big races. So he's going to keep cantering away. He's stay in box 1 for now, and hopefully he'll be there for a while. He'll enjoy that, I'm sure. And what about plans looking further ahead to the rest of his retirement? Have you mapped that out yet, you and Clive? Well, obviously, we've only made this decision this morning, and we've got to give time to digest it. And I know Clive's always got the best interest of the horse at heart, and we'll, over the next month or 2, give it some thought and decide what is probably the best thing for him. So, we haven't mapped out anything for definite at the moment, just the short term. He's very much a creature of routine, I know, isn't he? Because his partnership with Clifford as well, going back in the stable and having his little roll after his canter, he'll want to keep doing that for a while, I'm sure. Yeah, he does. I mean, Clifford adores the horse, as it does everybody else in the team, and everyone's been very proud of him from the start, Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few tears shed
over Kauto Star. Thank you for all of the team here and at the races, not just for today, but for all of the memories and your masterful handling of the horse. Thank you.
Well, I think the biggest thank you is to Kauto Star himself. Thanks again.
Thanks very much.